I am intrinsically no good.
All right, we're back. Within the Cage, the show formerly known as MMA Radicals Live. Today we're in the cage with Cole Miller. Cole, how are you doing today?
I'm doing exceptionally well. Thank you for asking.
It's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day here in sunny South Florida.
Oh, don't rub it in, you bastard. We got no sun, dreary New York.
Oh, it is it's pretty sunny right now, and it's exactly 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So.
Oh, I'm jealous. And you just came straight from training, Cole, so how'd that go for you?
It went well. Today was technique day, so I did Muay Thai on the pads with my Thai coach for about an hour, and then I did jiu-jitsu and wrestling, just drilled technique for about an hour.
And that's out of American Top Team, correct?
That's correct.
Cole, I've definitely got a lot of friends down there in American Top Team. I mean, you train with guys like, or you train with the team that trains guys like Thiago Alves, Mike Brown, who we actually have on the show later. What does training with those guys bring to your fight game? How does that evolve you as a fighter, training with some of the best?
Well, I don't really do much training with Thiago Alves. He's a pretty big guy. But I train a lot like Mike Brown and, Yves Edwards, Rafael Diaz, my brother Micah, Jay-Z, Gleason Chibao. I mean, the list goes on and on. We got a really solid stable of lightweights, but it just makes you step your game up. Every day you're in there sparring or, drilling technique with, a top caliber guy, and, it just makes you step your game up so you can be right there in there with them,
Oh, definitely. So you say your brother's training there as well?
Yeah, he just fought in Dream this past weekend in Japan, and we're back. We just got back in, I guess it was Monday night, but he's already back training, so.
Now you're fighting Junie Browning coming up April 1st. I'm curious if do you believe there's anything you can do to beat some sense into Junie?
I don't know about sense into him, but I'm definitely planning on beating my fists and shins and knees into him. So I don't really know much about the guy. I heard some things about when he was on the show, but I don't really watch the show, and I didn't really care to. I don't really care to find anything about his personality, so or what his personality was on the show. I just know that he's 1-0 in the UFC, and I treat him that as such,
Well, you definitely would be providing a public service if you did beat some sense into him, believe me.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of messages on MySpace from people just begging me to do that, so I'm going to do my best, but not because of what I think of his personality or what.
So basically, when you're coming into this fight with Junie Browning, I mean, it's kind of a weird situation because you made your start in the UFC off of The Ultimate Fighter, and you were actually an early favorite in that show with the controversial loss. But you come into the UFC and you explode. You have a great chain of wins, and Junie comes in with kind of a lackluster win in the UFC. So I think the opposite was proven here. Do you see yourself giving him that first real test in the UFC?
I think that I'm his first real test, period. I mean, the guy's untested, period. I guess he fought that guy, Efren Escudero, but, you can't really count those fights that were on the show as real fights because, yeah, they are mixed martial arts, but you're not training with your team. You're not in there with, your cornermen. You're not feeling the effects of everyday life. So, I certainly think I'm going to be his first best bet.
What's it like to have, I know when you're on the show, obviously the crew is there, and then before your fight with George Gurgel, you had the crew following you for the documentary. How do you deal with that, the cameras in your face? Is that something that you enjoy, or is it, a part of the sport you could do without?
I enjoy having it there, but certainly I can do without it. Most of my career has been without the camera in my face, so, having it there is, definitely a plus. Getting the exposure is a plus, and, people knowing my name, and people seeing my face and recognizing me, that's a good thing, because that means I'm heading in the right direction. I've never really wanted to participate in the sport and be famous, but being famous is something that comes with, the wins and being closer to a world championship. So the more wins I'm getting, and the more recognizable I'm getting. So that's just a good thing. And I would like to, keep the cameras in my face for a long time to come, and keep just building a fan base and getting a lot more exposure.
Now, Cole, what's your overall goal for the year 2009 in the UFC? I mean, what stamp do you want to put on the UFC?
I want to fight 4 times, and at the end of this year, I want to be considered in this long list of contenders. You have gatekeepers, you have newcomers, you have tough cast members, and then you got main competitors, and then you've got the contenders. I want to be in that list.
Well, why did you have that break between July and your fight now?
I had to have knee surgery after the fight with Gurgel. I tore my meniscus in my knee from the leg kicks that he gave me, and then I had to wait 2 months to see if it was going to heal, and then I had to have the surgery, which 3 months to heal completely, and then obviously I had to have, once it healed completely, I would still need 2 to 3 months of preparation for an opponent. So
wow, that's knee surgery and knee pain definitely isn't a fun thing to have, especially in this sport. But you feel like everything's going better, like you're 100% now?
Oh yeah, my knee's 100%, and I'm training 100%. I've done 3 triathlons in the past 2 months, and then I've got 1 or 2 more before the fight. So I'm in really good cardio shape, and I'm strong in there too. I'm training a lot at IHP, Institute of Human Performance, with Juan Carlos Santana for my strength and conditioning, and that's one thing that I neglected in the past, and that's something I'm doing right now, is I'm trying to get bigger, because I was always going to be the more technical fighter in the fights that I fought, but I noticed that I was pretty small for the weight, walking around at 161, fighting at 155. Guys were a lot bigger than me and stronger than me, and I was having a harder time with some of the guys than I should have had. And so I focused on just getting bigger and stronger for this fight.
Now, Cole, the triathlons, how did you get into that? Was this something that you've been doing before mixed martial arts, or did it come along later? No,
it was, let me see, right after I fought on the finale and I was preparing for my Lena Garcia fight, I went out to train with Nick and Nathan Diaz for, 3 weeks. I went out and stayed and lived with them, and while I was out there, it kind of just made me do them. And I hadn't biked, ran, or swam, and I don't know. And I went and did one just from MMA training. And I did 2 in a week. Smaller ones, the sprint ones, which are they're quarter mile to a half mile swim, and 10 to 15 on the bike, and around a run. So I went and did those, and then I was like, man, this is pretty fun. And so I getting into it, started training, went and bought the gear. The gear's pretty expensive, and now I do all of them, every single one I can get. So I did a half Ironman last year, which is pretty long distance, and that injury set me back. I wanted to do a full Ironman this year, but I think that if I can just do another half, I'll be happy with that, and try to do a full Ironman in 2010. Well, it can only help, obviously, with your training, your stamina, and everything all around. So it's a great thing that you're doing. Yeah, I figure it's like if you want to be if you want to have good striking for mixed martial arts fight, you don't just train striking with MMA fighters. You would go get a boxing coach, and you train boxing. If you want to get good boxing, you train with a boxing coach. If you want to get good Muay Thai, you get a Muay Thai coach. You spar with Muay Thai fighters. You spar with boxers. If you want to get good at jiu-jitsu, you put a gi on, and then you train gi. And it's if you want to have the best, if you want to have good cardio, why not go out there and do the stuff that the best cardiovascular athletes and endurance athletes in the world are doing? Why don't you do the same stuff they're doing? It only makes sense to me. That is an absolute genius way to look at it, and it's a shame that more people don't. But hey, if it gives you the edge, that's one more thing you got working in your favor, Cole. Exactly. It's not just training; it's about competing. It's like I can't always go out there and do a boxing match, you know, and a Muay Thai fight because it's contractual obligations. Like if I'm lucky to be able to get a jiu-jitsu tournament in, so it's just another form of competition. You know, I'm always pitting myself against, you know, the guy ahead of me. You're always, you know, thinking about that being your opponent. So it's just another form of competition. Definitely gives me the mental edge, I feel.
Definitely. Well, I'll tell you what, Cole, I know your time is precious, and I know today's a training day for you, so we definitely appreciate you coming on. Before you go, I'll go ahead and let you throw anything out to any of your sponsors or anything else. Just go wild, man.
All right. Thanks to ATT, IHP, Tap Out, and just check out ColeMiller.com.